Hi and Assalamualaikum. Today, my group is going to present a topic regarding customer profitability analysis. This is the outline of presentation, which consists of introductions to customer relationship management, the benefits, differences, calculation and limitations of customer profitability analysis. Hi, my name is Azli Shazani binti Zainal Abidin.
My name is Aida Syahira binti Razmi.
Hi, my name is Intan Izzati.
Hi, my name is Natasha binti Nordin.
Hi, my name is Shahira Atira Arif binti Syahrul Zaman.
As for the introductions of customer relationship management, the subtopic that will be discussed are needs of customer management, customer relationship management, and e-commerce customer perspective. What are actually the needs of customer management? It could improve customer relationship and enhance customer value. It also require organizations to work towards better understanding and satisfying customers' specific needs. Do you know the meaning of customer relationship management? It's mean collecting and analyzing data to understand customers' behavior, pattern and needs, and to develop strong relationship with customers. How to enhance customer relationship management? First, finding out about customers' purchasing habits, opinions, and preferences. Second, profiling individuals and groups to market more effectively. This will help to increase sales. The importance of maintaining customer relationship management. First, enhance customer satisfaction and retention, ensuring that organizations' good reputation in marketplace continues to grow. Second, increase value from existing customers and reduce costs associated with supporting and servicing them. This could increase organizations' overall efficiency and reducing total cost of sale. Second, improve profitability by focusing on the most profitable customers and dealing with the unprofitable customers in more cost-effective ways. Last but not least, able to execute new customer more effective and with efficient marketing and sales activities. Hence, sales revenue will rise and customer profitability able to achieve. E-commerce customer perspective. Firms are establishing electronic relationship with their customers, which allow existing customer and potential customer access to interactive websites and enable transactions between a firm and its customers to be initiated and proceed over the internet. Customer able to receive products as soon as they are required without having to incur the expenses associated with raising and processing purchasing order. Strategic alliance with customer can provide significant cost advantage for an organization as well as cost saving for its customers. Next, I will pass the presentation to Intan Izzati.
Now we will see the definition of customers groups and how to do it. Marketing managers often identify the customers of their business as belonging to certain segments. These segments may be determined by considering similarities and differences in customers' buying behaviors and customers' preference. Companies often develop products and marketing campaigns to target specific market segments. Customers may be grouped by the size, industry, market, or distribution channel. For example, in the food processing industry, it may be useful to group customers by distribution channel, distinguish between supermarket chains, independent grocers, and smaller outlets such as 24-hour convenience stores. The need for customer profitability analysis. Profitability is every business goal. Many factors can influence how attainable and sustainable it is, and the key factor to your customer profitability. Measuring customer profitability is crucially important and it can be an enlightening exercise. Once you build the framework to run a customer profitability analysis, it should be easier to refresh annually or as often as makes sense for your business. The significant value you gain through running one is that you will determine if certain customers are actually costing you money rather than making you money. In some instances, you may find that the customer group you thought was the most important is actually of lower value to your company than customer segments you haven't identified yet, which suggests a need for a shift in overall strategy. Now we will see the advantages of customer profitability analysis. First, to enhance the operational efficiency. The main reason for a customer group to generate lower profit is not always the customer. There might be few flaws in the internal operations of the company that is costing them more to serve the customers. According to the customer profitability analysis example, let's say the lower profit customer group is consuming a lot of resources to deal with the same issue in a product over and over again. Instead of allocating resources to that recurring issue, it might be beneficial for the company to build a feature in the product itself to resolve the issue. This will not only lower the operational cost, but will also make your product better for future customers. Second is to trim out the cost factors. One of the most common exercises to analyze customers is customer segmentation. After segmentation, businesses can segregate the group of customers that are costing more than others. It is still viable to do business with a low profit generating group, but on a deeper analysis, if you find a group of customers that are costing more than the revenue they are generating, then it is advisable to shut the business or your services to them. By letting them go, you are making your customer base more efficient in your growth. And then the third point is a customized retention strategy. After finding the customer group with a different profitability, companies can customize their retention strategies for each group. For the customers with the highest profitability, companies can afford to give a service of the highest quality. That means they can spend more on serving those elite customers. Now we will see the calculation of customer profitability analysis using the activity-based costing. The general approach to CPA is based on segmenting the customer base to determine the revenues and costs attributable to each segment. This is often combined with an activity-based costing, which is known as ABC approach. Once the profitable and non-profitable segments are identified, profitable segments are maximized while non-profitable segments are reduced or eliminated. CPA allows you to understand the business from a profitability viewpoint. Methods like activity-based costing help you assign a cost to each activity associated with a product or service. Businesses can leverage customer account profitability analysis in the following areas to benefit from this method.
What is customer profitability analysis? SIMA official terminology 2005 state that customer profitability analysis is analysis of the revenue streams or service costs associated with customers or customers group. It is a method that allows the organization or leader to determine the profitability of each customers or a group of customers by attributing the profit and cost of each customer separately. The purpose of customer profitability analysis is to determine various activities and expenses incurred in servicing each customer. Every cost that comes from business activity will affect the profit of the firm. The firm may minimize the cost in order to get higher profit. Next is to analyze profit for each customer rather than profit for each product. The firm should consider the profit that flow from the customer instead of from the product that they produce, as the customer preference are more important to gain more profit. How to define the customer group? The customer group is defined by identifying the customer to certain segments. It can be determined by considering the similarities and the difference in customer buying behaviors and preference. Customer cost analysis is cost of products purchased by the customers are assigned to customer along with the cost of any other customer-driven activities, while customer profitability analysis is cost of all the activities used to support a customer or a group customer are accumulated and compared with the revenue generated by that customer or customer group. How do the customer differ? It is difference in the revenue received from the customer and the difference in cost used to service customers. Difference in revenue is customer are charged different price or given different discount, or purchase difference is value, or customer purchase a range of different product, while difference in cost is relates to manufacturing cost and the cost of downstream activities.
Next will be on the calculation of the customer profitability analysis.
Before I go into further on the steps of CPA, I will briefly explain on the 3 levels of customer-driven costs. In the order level activities, they will focus on the selling and delivery of goods or services to the customer. Next is the customer level activities, which focuses on how to acquire new customer and how to maintain the present customers of the company. For example, on how to acquire a new customer, the company can perform customer credit evaluation while to maintain the availability of the customer. The company could conduct ongoing sales calls and increase the handling of complaints from the customers. Lastly will be the market level activities. This relates to a particular market or class of customers. It is crucial to determine and analyze the want and needs of the customers. To achieve this, the company needs to enhance the technologies and maintain the performance of the company from the eye of the public. For example, they could increase in terms of their marketing and advertising. Of CPA, there are in total 6 steps in performing the customer profitability analysis, and I will be explaining the steps according to example in the textbook, which is the company of Hardy Suspense. So we will start with the customer segmentation, and by doing this, it is to differ across companies and the industries. There are 2 attempts, which by identifying according to the demographic and also psychographic. So as for demographic, it will emphasize on the observable characteristics such as the geographical area, age, and also the income level of the customer. As for the psychographic, it is in regards to the customer needs and behavior, which consists of their interests, values, and attitudes. So according to the Hardy Suspense, they have identified its customer according to 3 groups, which are, we can see that there are direct customers, small retailers, and large retailers. So these 3 groups has different volume of activities and results to different level of customer cost. The second step is, after the company have identified the segmentation, the company needs to attribute the revenue according to each customer segment. It must also take into consideration on the service fees paid by the customer, any discounts being offered, or any enhancement fee. This is to identify the true amount of revenue generated by each of the customers. So from the Hardy saucepan, the selling price for standard and premium saucepan is equivalent to $160 and $240 per set respectively. So in order to calculate the revenue of being generated by each of the customers in each of the customer segments, the selling price of the saucepans will be multiplied according to the number of units purchased by each of the customers.
Subsequently, identifying the cost attributable to each segment of each customer segment by performing the ABC method, or also known as the activity-based cost method. This is where the 3 customer-driven activities will take into consideration, and to determine the annual cost, it will consider the directly attributable cost and also the customer cost. So, according to the Hardy Suspense, it has grouped the list of activity performed according to the 3 levels of customer-driven cost, which also including the total cost for each activity. So, the activity drivers has also been identified and used to allocate the activity cost into each of the 3 customer groups. After all of the cost is allocated accordingly, each of the customer segments will obtain the cost incurred annually. So we can see that on the left side, the Hardy Suspense has listed out all of the activities according to the tree-driven activities. We can see that there are processing it and order, delivering the product, and also etc. As for the right side, we can see that the total activity cost has been allocated accordingly to the three customer segments. So in the end, we can obtain the total cost being attributed in each of the customer segments. Once the company has identified the revenue and the cost for each customer segment annually, they will be able to attain the profit or loss earned by the customer. So when we can conclude that when the revenue is more than the amount of cost, it depicts a profit, and also vice versa. So in order to obtain an accurate analysis, the company can conduct the analysis more frequently. So the annual revenue and cost for each customer groups are identified, thus the profit can be achieved. So we can see that in Exhibit 15.3, the sales revenue has already been identified, also for the cost of goods. So as for the cost of goods sold, this is based on the price of the manufacturing price. And the customer cost is based on the ABC method that they have used. Then they will get the contribution to company profits and the percentage of the contributions. From the analysis obtained, the company can foster strategies to maximize the profits from the profitable customers, and as for the unprofitable or less profitable customers, the company can either eliminate them or perform re-engineering. Elimination is done by stop supplying products or services to these less profitable customers, which by either changing the product or service so they are no longer suitable to the customers, or maybe they could increase the price of the products. As for the re-engineering, this is to increase their profit either by increase the revenue or reduce the cost incurred, or maybe can do both. For example, such as providing additional fees for services. By doing so, it could increase the revenue for the customer. So from the Hardy Saucepan, we can see that the large retailers contributes the larger portion of profitability to Hardy Saucepan, while direct customer is the smallest, even though that the number of indirect customer is the largest. By looking from the statement, Hardy Saucepan can have an oversight on the strategies where they could implement in order to increase the profitability in order to enhance more on the profitability from the profitable customers, and either to eliminate or re-engineering on the less profitable customers. Lastly, the company needs to perform a review, or they should make a review from the impact from the strategy's implementation. So implementation of any new strategy should be done or should be reviewed after an appropriate period. It is required to see whether it gives any impact towards the profitability of the customers later on. So after a period of time, Hardy Saucepan needs to conduct a review on the strategy that they have implemented on the customer and identify whether does it provide good impact in increasing the profitability of its customer. Moreover, on its direct customer, since its direct customer contributes the least profitability, as you can see that there is a negative profit.
Now, let's look at the outcome from the customer profitability analysis conducted by Hardy Saucepan Private Limited. From the seed analysis, the information on the strategic performance that can be extracted are: firstly, is the profit calculation. As through the analysis, the company are able to identify the activity cost to revenue allocation for each group, which allows them to point out which customer group brings the highest profit for the company. Secondly is the customer retention. With the usage of CPA, the company can find out information on the potential future cash flows for each group, allowing them to forecast which customer will be the most loyal, how to ensure the customer's loyalty, or which group of customers should the company invest more. Thirdly are marketing strategies. CPA aids the company in recognizing customers' detail to segment, target and position them in accordance to their need. In a way, through this, the company are able to find which group cost of servicing can be reduced, or how to encourage each group of customer to buy more. The last section of this presentation is a limitation of CPA. The first limitation is CPA only focuses on the financial positive and negative in the relationship with the customer, which only relies on historical data and cost data, overlooking the non-financial factors as part as the assessment. The second limitation is lack of data capture system for companies. The system might cost a lot and some companies does not have the necessary fund to have one. Therefore, it might be hard for these companies to produce an accurate estimation of customer segmental revenues and costs. The third one is practical difficulties in calculation cost attributable. The implementation of ABC or activity-based costing is different in accordance to industries. Hence, the process of implementation might and often be challenging for many companies as the highly skilled managers are needed to do so. The last one is annual profit from the customer might not be a good representative of lifetime value. The cost of attracting and retaining a customer should be compared with the lifetime earnings and not just with customer annual earnings.
That's all from us. Thank you for spending your time watching our video. Hope you guys have a nice day. Bye!